Your spouse has the right to any thoughts, feelings, emotions, and response in which they want at all, and how to deal with this. And there's no wrong answer that they may convey. It's completely up to them, and you just have to let go of it. You have to be okay with just taking responsibility and that being enough, which already in and of itself, I'm not going to say is going to be difficult, but the beauty in that is that you're letting go of control. You're letting go of absolutes. You're letting go of certainty. You're letting go of controlling the narrative the way you want, which is what we've been doing with porn. It's controlling the narrative. It's saying, I'm not going to tell them. I'm going to keep this to myself, keep it on my own terms, which there's a lot of control within this addiction.
You like this, you like being daddy's arms with microphones now. You like being a worker. You're made for the camera. Both my boys are.
Hey, this video you are about to watch is a part of a series where I show you how to quit porn the right way. So do yourself a favor, binge on all of this content, all the videos that you possibly can, because who knows, maybe if the value and the trust is built together over this journey, you'll want to jump into a community that I call Fit for Family. Or maybe you think these videos suck, and that's also fair too. But nonetheless, there's only one way for us to find out. So enough of me, let's get back to serving you, and let's get back to the video. All right, if you are in a marriage, a relationship where your spouse does not know about your struggle with porn, your addiction to porn, it's been hidden, there's been secrecy, there's lying, there's hiding, and you want to tell them about your porn addiction, which I absolutely recommend because it's impossible to create a healthy life when we are still in secrets. William Paul Young, the author and writer of the book The Shack, he said that we are only as healthy as the secrets that we keep, which is why it's so imperative that we learn honesty early on as a foundation. Now, that being said, although I'm not going to be able to provide you and give you the complete like vernacular and verbatim word for word play out of what you need to say, because there's nothing that's going to be sexy and heroic about it. It's going to be a mess. It's just going to be honesty. It's just going to be super unsexy, unfiltered, raw, real, hopefully very vulnerable on your side where you just take a lot of ownership. So what I want to do is give you just a bit of a frame and a heart behind how to have that conversation so you know you're coming in with the right heart posture, because there's a lot of people that I hear them say, you know, I don't want to tell my spouse about my porn addiction because I don't want them to get hurt. And that sounds noble. It sounds admirable. It sounds heroic on the front side. I don't want to tell them about my addiction to porn because I don't want them to get hurt at all. I don't want them to feel betrayed. I don't want them to feel unloved. I couldn't do that. They can't handle that. Two things. The first one is you are already massively hurting everybody around you by this addiction, just as it is. So to say that the reason why you're not getting help, wholeness, and healing is because you don't want to hurt your spouse is actually completely backwards. You're actually hurting them more by them not knowing, because right now they are married to someone who's living a lie. They are married to somebody that's an imposter, that's a facade. It's a false version of you. It's like you got a mask on and that's the version of you that you're showing them. It's not real. It's not touchable. There's no intimacy, which is into me you see. There's no sense of being seen and known in a marriage where you're hiding. And I understand it can be scary. You have fears. What if they leave me? What if they walk out? All these sorts of deals. Here's what I know about taking ownership is when we take ownership over any issue in our life, but specifically with struggling with porn, you can set the intent and you can say what you're taking ownership for, but the nature of ownership is that you absolutely let go of all outcomes, that you lose the right and the ability to control the outcome in the way in which you want. So that being said, there's a lot of people that want to explain to their spouse and then defend themselves and then make it a situation where it's either not that bad or they gloss over it or they want their wife or husband to think a certain way. And I'm just saying that when you eat humble pie, when you don't despise the day of small beginnings, as Proverbs shares, and you actually just take true ownership and you share what's going on, your spouse has the right to any thoughts, feelings, emotions, and response in which they want at all and how to deal with this. And there's no wrong answer that they may convey. It's completely up to them, and you just have to let go of it. You have to be okay with just taking responsibility and that being enough, which already in and of itself, I'm not going to say is going to be difficult, but the beauty in that is that you're letting go of control. You're letting go of absolutes. You're letting go of certainty. You're letting go of controlling the narrative the way you want, which is what we've been doing with porn. It's controlling the narrative. It's saying, I'm not going to tell them. I'm going to keep this to myself, keep it on my own terms, which there's a lot of control within this addiction. So it's the very thing that you need to give up. Again, at the core of it, porn is not the problem. It's control. It's control. That's why we go to porn. It's for a sense of control, a variable, a form of relationship that we believe we can control. It's because we think we can get that intimacy without ever risk being known, being seen, being hurt, being looked down on, being misunderstood, being doubted, right? That's the idea, is control. And the only way that you can find healing is by being willing to give it up. And so what I've seen to be a helpful practice is two things, because there's really one of two ways that you can look at this. You can go to your spouse and you can tell them about your porn addiction and have absolutely zero path to move forward. You can be like, hey, looking through these videos, I'm in this free program. I was told that you could quit porn, or be like, just letting you know that I'm trying to quit porn. This is something I'm struggling with, and you can break and deteriorate so much trust. Or you can be able to come with a plan, with a solution, getting even more help and getting even more expert accountability and someone inside of your process. So when you come to them, you can come with humility and along the line say, hey, I'm so sorry. I want to apologize to you. I haven't been living as my authentic self inside of our marriage. I haven't been living as the man that God has called me to be, and I haven't been faithful. I've been struggling with an addiction to porn longer than I've known you, actually. And I've been so terrified of you finding out, because I thought that I could deal with this on my own, and I can't. And so although this might be really hard for you to hear, I want to tell you that I'm so sorry. And I'm committed and willing to do whatever it takes to get help, take responsibility, and get the help I need so you can have the husband you deserve. You deserve to be in a marriage where you're fought for. You deserve to be in a relationship that's open, that's honest. You deserve to be in relationship with a man where you know everything in his world and don't have any guesses or wondering what's going on. And so because of that, I've gotten help. I have leadership. I am in a program. I have gotten this thing. And you can insert what you've done as massive action to really get help there and be like, and I've sewed into it. I've invested into it, because those who pay attention. And I want to get skin in the game for my life and my story. And quite frankly, it needs to cost me. One reason I haven't gotten porn free is because it's cost me nothing. All the free stuff, all my willpower and discipline has failed me because there's been no one, especially me, even committed to my own journey. And I need that. And so when you come from that heart, from that frame, from that understanding, what that's going to do is create a blanket, a safety net. It's going to be a massive blow that she knows you're struggling with porn, but she gets to know that you're doing it in a way where you've actually had deliberate and intentional thought about how to start solving this. Whereas the other way, if you just say, hey, I'm struggling with porn, and you have no answers, no vision, no map, no compass, no leadership, you and her both are like fish out of water. So at least now, when you've gotten help sincerely and totally, and your wife is like super flabbergasted or taken back and doesn't know, you can process with somebody who's not her. And that's what I love about the idea of being able to just open up with vulnerability, is because you're actually taking true responsibility for the mess that you've made, the bed that you've created, and you're lying in it. And so although she might not receive and be like, wow, you're my hero, I can't believe you got help, at least it's then as a standard rather than a wish to have. And you can say, I want to get help, and I'm thinking about it, but at that point, she doesn't even trust you because you just opened up about a porn addiction that's been hidden from her for so long. So when you say you're going to get help, it's like, is that even true? Is that even real? It's all empty promises. Actions do speak louder than words. And so I believe that getting real help and personalized help from people that are capable is going to be the best thing for you. Now, in that positioning, I hope it can be us to serve you, grow you, love on you even more than you already are. But my goal in this process, in this program, is to give you so much value to break out of the confusion and the frustration and the disappointment or hopelessness about how to quit porn so you can have a more clear roadmap to do it. So that being said, however you feel like your wife would respond best, whether it's an in-person conversation, whether you guys are apart due to work scenarios and it would be over the phone, I know that there can be one of two things: timing. And the other piece would just be, well, the when within the timing. So I guess it's technically one, but it's what you say and when and where you say it. Some people are like, well, I'll tell them next month. And I'm like, well, 1 month is too late from now. People are like, I'll tell them in 5 minutes. And yeah, that might be the thing to do. Either way, the longer you delay with it, it's just going to be pushing off and compounding a harder conversation. The longer you wait to have it, some people are like, I'm just going to wait for the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity. I'm like, dude, there's no perfect time to ever quit porn except for right now in the present. There's no perfect timing to ever do anything. But if you want to prep yourself, maybe script something out in your mind so that you can be able to have a conversation that, you know, but just prepping and being like, okay, this might not go the best in terms of building connection, but sometimes you need to expose the foundation and how rotten it is in order to really mend it so that you guys can have a house in your life and your marriage that stands tall. Because right now it's in sinking sand, it's in quicksand, and you're hurting. And I think that she's definitely deserving of knowing that this is going on for you, because the only other reason why people don't share with their spouse about their struggle with porn is, I don't want to break them. I don't want to do that to them. You don't know my spouse, you don't know my wife, you don't know my husband. It's going to absolutely destroy them, and you know, they're not going to be in a good place. And to be honest, maybe that's what's going to happen. But maybe that's what needs to happen in order for you guys to get into a better place. Because I believe that everything in life is a catalyst for wholeness. And just maybe you need to open up and be vulnerable and share what's been going on for you to reset the foundation of your guys' life. Because there's things for you to look at, and then there's going to be things for your spouse to look at. But I would believe that it's a lie to say that your spouse doesn't have what it takes to hear the truth that will set them free in some capacity. It will set them free because now they're going to be faced with choices, emotions, decisions, and a journey, if they want to go on, to start becoming emotionally healthy and knowing who they really are, because maybe it's even going to become a catalyst for areas in their life where there's been a lack of honesty or a lack of congruency. I've definitely seen that, where the man's opened up about his porn addiction. The wife's like, well, me too. Wow, I just never had the courage to tell you. And now his vulnerability bred even more vulnerability, which created more connection and opportunity for them to get free. So I wouldn't step into a place of control and say that my spouse doesn't have what it takes for me to get real, honest, and authentic. I would say that your spouse has exactly everything that's needed in order to hear the truth, to be liberated by it, to be confronted by it. Otherwise, you're basically saying, I think that my spouse is a spineless person. They don't have what it takes. They're going to end their life or ruin themselves. And they're that insecure of an individual. And I would just, caution to say that the human spirit is incredibly resilient. What you and I are capable of as humans is quite phenomenal. And I wouldn't undermine or underestimate, although you know your spouse, you may have been married for 40 years, married longer than even I've been alive. And that's okay too. But it still doesn't merit the reason why you wouldn't open up to them about it. You'll never be able to move forward in marriage, and you'll never truly be able to break free from porn as long as the fear of shame is holding you down. And so this is really an act of worship to God, to break out of the fear of shame, the fear of being punished, just the fear. Because what's worse, to be honest, if you're like afraid that your wife is going to leave you if you share about this porn addiction, being afraid about her leaving you is more terrifying than her actually leaving you. The fear itself is the issue. The fear itself is the bigger problem. Because at that point, it's like, okay, well, she's made that choice if she wants to leave, and then you got to deal with all the repercussions. Or, fight to mend it and build trust and build security and build safety again. But that fear right there is the bigger thing that I want to see taken out in your life, because it's stopping you from stepping into all that you can be as a man. So punch fear in the face, punch shame in the face, have that conversation, do it quickly within the next couple days, and bring the people in that are around you in this journey into the conversation so that they can support you and pray for you as you do that, so you don't have to feel so incredibly alone. I love you so much, man. I believe in you. You got what it takes to heal and begin to restore your marriage and get from where you are to more of where you want to be. I love you lots, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hi, my name is Michael Utsi from Central Wisconsin. I first seen an ad for Matt's Untamed course probably about 9 months ago or so. I watched about half of it, and I'm like, you know what, this probably isn't going to work for me. After praying about it a lot, I seen the video again, and I just couldn't help but feel like, God's calling me to do this. But after being addicted to pornography for about 23 years, I just thought, you know what, this is just something I'm always going to deal with. I'm just a struggler. This is just who I am. Not long after being in this academy, I seen that was so not true. Porn was just a symptom for a much deeper issue. When you explore those issues, you can really find out what it is that's driving you to porn, and you can find healthy ways to substitute that. It's really not that complicated at all. Super easy material to understand. Super excited to continue with the next course that they have. It's the Untamed course, and where we're learning about emotions, pain, things from our past. So it doesn't just stop with porn. It goes all throughout your mind to transform that, transform your heart, and become a whole, complete person that's limitless. You feel whole, you feel confident, you enjoy every aspect of life, where it used to be you just enjoy your coping mechanisms to get away from things like stress or anxiety or fear, all of these things that were just antagonizing you. And now you enjoy going to work, you enjoy getting up in the morning and making your bed, you feel so accomplished and free and just a whole person, thanks to Jesus Christ, and also thanks to this course. I'm not going to undermine that at all. It's been just such a massive blessing. I would encourage any young man or teenager, even anyone that's struggling with this, man, this is your answer to your prayers. You don't have to be stuck there. And I would say the chief sinner in this aspect. So don't feel like you're too far gone. There's help for you.
Hey, real quick, if you like that video that you just saw, or if you want to see even better videos than this in a series that I made called Annihilate Porn to help guys or girls like you quit porn, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't forget any alerts, comment, like, all that jazz, and more importantly, check out the next video that's going to take you even further on the journey from where you are to where you want to be. I love you tons. I'll catch you in the next one.